Good evening and welcome. My name is Gil Scott-Heron. My accomplices are, first from left to right, Eddie Knowles, a drummer for the Denny Zulu Dance Group, a drummer for the Simba Dancers, and a percussionist for a group called Black and Blues. The brother to my immediate left is Charlie Saunders of the Simba Dance Group and a former drummer for Loretta Porker. David Barnes, a singer for Black and Blues, will be heard later on in the evening. We'd like to do a poem for you called "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised," primarily because it won't be. You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Mendel Rivers to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nubs. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner. The revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on reports from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still lifes of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he had been saving for just the right occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so goddamn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally screwed Jane on Search for Tomorrow because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of hairy-armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, or Engelbert Humperdinck. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live. Thank you. We'd like to do a poem that was inspired by a still life in the subway that was a commercial for a movie called The Green Slime, and we call this poem Omen. A giant eye zapped across the screen with tentacle-type, feeler-type thin roots reaching for someone, maybe me, with large black block letters chiseled into the whites around the pupils screaming REVOLUTION, revolution. And as the eye, giant and green, sort of oozed with no obvious locomotion, closer and closer until it was like this on my screen. It split and blood flowed down each side of the street, washing away things that we didn't need to see, just like beer cans, peanut shells, and copies of the Daily News. And then, laying there, bleeding like a stuck pig, was a stuck pig. Get the point? There are a lot of comments about who's blacker than you are and who's blacker than she is and blacker than thou. In other words, that's a sort of trend. And in looking on various street corners in Harlem, I'm sure you've seen it yourself, standing on a soapbox on the corner is an alleged brother dressed in blue and black dashikis, or green, red, and black dashikis, and spouting the news that the revolution is coming and you better get ready. It's sort of like the end of the world is coming. I saw a recent commercial that said, unfortunately, the world is just going to drag on and on. And we have a poem that we've written particularly for the brothers on the street corners, and it's called just that, Brother. We deal in too many externals, brother. Always afros, handshakes, and dashikis. Never can a man build a working structure for black capitalism. Always does the man read Mao or Fanon. I think I know you would-be black revolutionaries too well. Standing on a box on the corner, talking about blowing the white boy away. That's not where it's at yet, brother. Calling this man an Uncle Tom and telling this woman to get an afro, but you won't speak to her if she looks like hell, now will you, brother? Some of us been checking your act out kinda close, and by now it's looking kinda shaky. The way you've been rushing people with your super black bag, jumping down on some black men with both feet because they're after their BA. But you're never around when your BA is in danger. I mean your black ass. I think it was a little too easy for you to forget that you were a Negro before Malcolm. You drove your white girl through the village every Friday night while the grassroots stared in envy and drank wine. Do you remember? You need to get your memory banks organized, brother. Show that man you call an Uncle Tom just where he's wrong. Show that woman that you're a sincere black man. All we need to do is see you shut up and be black. Help that woman, help that man. That's what brothers are for, brother. Poem here says, comment number 1. Comment number 2 was dynamite, but comment number 1 was the one that we decided to use here this evening because it makes a comment, if you listen closely, on what is now being advertised in East Harlem as the Rainbow Conspiracy, a combination of the Students for a Democratic Society, the Black Panthers, and the Young Lords. And this is my particular comment about that conspiracy. Comment number 1. The time is in the street, you know, us living as we do, upside down, and the new word to have is revolution. People don't even want to hear the preacher spill or spiel because God's whole card has been thoroughly peeped, and America is now blood and tears instead of milk and honey. The youngsters who were programmed to continue fucking up woke up one night digging Paul Revere and Nat Turner as the good guys. America stripped for bed and we had not all yet closed our eyes. The signs of truth were tattooed across our often entered vagina. We learned to our amazement the untold tale of scandal. 2 long centuries buried in a musty vault, hosed down daily with a gagging perfume. America was a bastard, the illegitimate daughter of the mother country, whose legs were then spread around the world, and a rapist known as freedom, free doom. Democracy, liberty, and justice were revolutionary code names that preceded the bubbling, 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 bubbling in the mother country's crotch. And behold, a baby girl was born, nurtured by slaveholders and whitey racists. It grew and grew and grew, screwing indiscriminately, like mother, like daughter, everything unplagued by her madam mother. The present mocks us, Good black people with keen memories set fire to the bastards who ask us in a whisper to melt and integrate. Young, very young, teeny bopping, revolt on weekend young, dig by proxy what a mental ass kicking they receive through institutionalized everything and vomit up slogans to stay out of Vietnam. They seek to hide their relationship with the world's prostitute, alienating themselves from everything except dirt and money with long hair, grime, and dope to camera hide the things that cannot be hidden. They become runaway children to walk the streets downtown with everyday black people, sitting on the curb crying because we know that they will go back home with a clear conscience and a college degree. The irony of it all, of course, is when a pale-faced SDS motherfucker dares look hurt when I tell him to go find his own revolution. He wonders why I tell him that America's revolution will not be the melting pot, but the toilet bowl. He is fighting for legalized smoke, a lower voting age, less lip from his generation gap, and fucking in the street. Where's my parallel to that? All I want is a good home and a wife and a children and some food to feed them every night. Back goes Paleface to basics. Does Little Orphan Annie have a natural? Do Sluggo's kinks make him a refugee from Mandingo? What does Webster say about soul? I say, you silly trait motherfucker, your great-grandfather tied a ball and chain to my balls and bounced me through a cotton field while I lived in an unflushable toilet bowl. And now you want me to help you overthrow what? The only truth that can be delivered to a 4-year revolutionary with a hole card, i.e. skin, is this. Fuck up what you can in the name of Piggy Wallace, Dickless Nixon, and Spyro Agnew. Leave Brother Cleaver and Brother Malcolm alone, please. After all is said and done, build a new route to China if they'll have you. Who will survive in America? 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 This is just like listening to a conversation being held by the many people who congregate on one of the most popular blocks in the largest area of black America. Did you ever eat cornbread and black-eyed peas or watermelon and mustard greens? Get high as you can on Saturday night, go to church on Sunday to set things right? Listen. I seen Miss Blake after Willie yesterday. She'd have killed anybody who'd have gotten in her way. Hey, look, I got a TV for £1 on the head, and Jimmy Jean got the best Panamanian red. No, I ain't got on no underclothes, but the hawk got to get through this gypsy rose. I think Clay got his very good points. You say a tray bag with 13 joints? Who cares if LBJ is in town? Up with Stokely and H. Rap Brown. Well, I don't know if the riots is wrong, but Whitey been kicking my ass for too long. I was supposed to, baby, but they held my pay. Did you hear what the number was yesterday? Junkies is all right when they ain't broke. They leaves you alone when they high on dope. Damn, but I wish I could get up and move. Shut up, hell, you know that ain't true. We'd like to do a poem, if I can find it, called The Subject Was Faggots. Wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah. If Charlie's arms can hold out, we're gonna do that. Because it came up one night when I called myself going to a dance that was being held on 34th Street and 8th Avenue. I'm sure you all are aware of what famous dance house that they have there. And I was standing outside, being cool, trying to find out who was going to go in, that I figured I'd be able to talk to. And they were holding a faggot ball in the next half of the building. So I got kind of confused, and I had to sit down and write this poem. The subject was faggots, and the quote was, "Ain't nothing happening but faggots and dope, faggots and dope, faggots and faggots and faggots who lined dot, 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 like that, 34th Street and 8th Avenue, giggling and grinning and prancing and shit, trying their best to see the misses and miseries and miscellaneous misfits who were just about to attend the faggot ball. Faggots who had come to ball, faggots who had come to ball, faggots who were balling because they could not get their balls inside the faggot hall. Balling, balling, ballless faggots, cutie, cootie, and snooty faggots. I mean, you just had to dig it to dig it. The crowning attraction being the arrival of Miss Brooklyn, looking like a halfback in a miniskirt, with swan feathers covering his, its pectorals and balls as she, he, it prepared to enter the faggot ball. But sitting on the corner, digging all that I did as I did, long, long black limousines and long flowing evening gowns, had there been no sign on the door saying faggot ball, I might have entered, and God only knows just what would have happened. The subject was faggots. I'm glad you made it, Charlie. I'm glad you made it. You'd like to do a thing that was written down on the sheet of paper that I didn't go into. It's called Evolution. And in the middle of this poem called Evolution, we're going to interject something called Flashback. Yeah. In 1600, I was a darky. Until 1865, a slave. In 1900, I was a nigger. Or at least that was my name. In 1960, I was a Negro. And then Brother Malcolm came along. And then some nigger shot Malcolm down. But the bitter truth lives on. Martin is dead. With Martin as our leader, we prayed and marched and marched and prayed. Things were changing, things were getting better, but things were not together. With Malcolm as our leader, we learned and thought we had learned. Things were better, things were changing, but things were not together. And now it is your turn. We are tired of praying and marching and thinking and learning. Brothers want to start cutting and shooting and stealing and burning. You are 300 years ahead in equality, but next summer may be too late to look back. In 1600, I was a darky, and until 1865, a slave. In 1900, I was a nigger, or at least that was my name. In 1960, I was a Negro, and then Malcolm came along. Yes, but some nigger shot Malcolm down, though the bitter truth lives on. Well, now I am a black man, and though I still go second class, whereas once I wanted the white man's love, Now he can kiss my ass. Yes. Glad to get high and see the slow motion world, just to reach and touch the half notes floating. World spinning orbit quicker than 9/8 Dave Brubeck. We come now frantically searching for Thomas More rainbow villages. Up on suddenly Charlie Mingus and Ahmed Abdul Malik to add bass to a bottomless pit of insecurity. You may be plastic because you never meditate about the bottom of glasses, the third side of your universe. Add on Alice Coltrane and her cosmic strains. Still no vocal on blue-black horizons. Your plasticity is tested by a formless assault. The sun can answer questions in tune to all your sacrifices. But why will our new jazz age give us no more mind-expanding puzzles? Enter John, blow from under always and never, so that the morning, the sun, may scream of brain-bending saxophones. The third world arrives with Yusef Lateef and Pharaoh Saunders, with oboes straining to touch the core of your unknown soul. Ravi Shankar comes with strings attached, prepared to stabilize your seventh sense, your black rhythm. Up and down a silly ladder run the notes without the words. Words are important for the mind, but the notes are for the soul. Miles Davis, So What? Cannonball, Fiddler, Mercy, Dexter Gordon, One Flight Up, Donald Byrd playing Christo, but what about words? Would you like to survive on sadness? Call on Ella and Jose Happiness, drift with Smokey, Bill Medley, Bobby Taylor, and Otis Redding. Soul music where frustrations are washed by drums, Nina and Miriam. Congo, Mongo, Beat Me, Senseless, Bongo, Tonto, flash through dream worlds of STP and LSD. Speed kills and sometimes music's call is frustrated and the black man is confused. Our speed is our life pace, much too fast, not good. I beg you to escape and live and hear all of the real until a call comes for you to cry elsewhere. We must all cry, but tell me, must our tears be white? We have a poem here. It's called Whitey on the Moon. And it was inspired by some whiteys on the moon. So I want to give credit where credit is due. All right. That's it. A rat done bit my sister Nell with Whitey on the moon. Her face and arms began to swell and Whitey's on the moon. I can't pay no doctor bills, but Whitey's on the moon. 10 years from now, I'll be paying still while Whitey's on the moon. You know, the man just upped my rent last night, cause Whitey's on the moon. No hot water, no toilets, no lights, but Whitey's on the moon. I wonder why he's upping me, cause Whitey's on the moon? Well, I was already giving him $50 a week, and now Whitey's on the moon. Taxes taking my whole damn check. The junkies make me a nervous wreck. The price of food is going up. And as if all that crap wasn't enough, a rat done bit my sister Nell with Whitey on the moon. Her face and arms began to swell, and Whitey's on the moon. Was all that money I made last year for Whitey on the moon? How come I ain't got no money here? Whitey's on the moon. You know, I just about had my fill of Whitey on the moon. I think I'll send these doctor bills, air, mail, special. To Whitey on the moon. Thank you. This is called The Vulture, and a lot of people think it's a poem, and after they hear me sing it, they're sure it's a poem. But we're gonna take a shot at it anyway. Remember, this is a feel-like thing. Do whatever you feel like. If you feel like clapping your hands, you can do that. Standing in the ruins, ooh, of another black man's life. Or flying through the valley that's separating day and night. I am death, cried the vulture, yes, for the people of the light. Charon brought his raft and came from a sea that sails on souls. I saw the scavenger departing, whoa, taking warm hearts to the cold. He knew the ghetto was a haven for the meanest creature ever known. In a wilderness of heartbreak, yes, and a desert of despair. Evil's clarion of justice, oh, shrieks a cry of naked terror. He's taking babies from their mamas and leaving grief beyond compare. See the vulture coming, and he's flying circles in your mind. There'll be no escaping, for he will follow close behind. Only promise me a battle, yeah, a battle for your soul and mine, your soul and mine. He's taking babies from their mamas, and he's leaving, 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 leaving. Thank you. That's called The Vulture. Had a poem here somewhere called Enough that I'd like to do, because every once in a while a brother gets shot somewhere for no reason. A brother gets his head kicked in for no reason. And you wonder just exactly what in the hell is enough. And that's what this poem is about. It was not enough that we were bought and brought to this home of the slave, locked in the bowels of a floating shithouse, watching those we loved eaten away by plague and insanity, flesh falling like strips of bark from a termite-infested tree, bones rotting, turning first to brittle ivory, then to rosin. That was not enough. It was not enough that we were chained by leg irons, black on black in black with a piss-stained wall, forced to heed nature's call through and inside the tatters of rags that strained our privates. And evidently years of slavery did not appease your need to be superior to something, like a crazed lion hung up on being the king of his corner of the cage. Backs bent under the weight of being everything and having nothing. Minds too, like boomerangs curving back into themselves, kicked and carved by the face-straining smiles that saved my life. That was not enough. Somehow I cannot believe that it will be enough for me to melt with you and integrate without the thoughts of rape and murder. I cannot conceive of peace on earth until I have given you a piece of lead or pipe to end your worthless motherfucking existence. Imagine your nightmares of my sneaking into a veiled or satin bedroom and attacking your daughter, wife, and mother at once, ripping open their bowels sexually like a wishbone. Imagine that and magnify it 1,000,000 times when you realize that the blinders have been stripped from my eyes and I realize that slavery was no smiling, happy fizzy's party. Your ancestors raped my foremothers, and I will not forget. I will not forget at Yale or Harvard or Princeton or in hell, because you are on my mind. I see you every time my woman walks down the street with her ass on her shoulders. I see you every time I look in the mirror and think of the times I used to pat myself on the back for not being too black after all. I think of you morning, noon, and night, and I wonder just exactly what in hell is enough. Every time I see a rope or gun, I remember. And to top it all off, you ain't through yet. Over 50 you have killed in Mississippi since 1963. That doesn't even begin all of those you have maimed, hit and run over, blinded, poisoned, starved, or castrated. I hope you do not think that a vote for John Kennedy took you off my shit list. Because in the street there will only be black and white. There will be no Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, moderates, or any of the rest of that shit you have used to make me forget to hate. There ain't no enough. There ain't no surrender. There is only plot and plan, move and groove, kill. There is no promised land. There is only the promise. The promise is my vow that until we have been nerve gassed, shot down and murdered, or done some of the same ourselves, look over your shoulder, motherfucker, I am coming. Picture a man of nearly 30 who seems twice as old, with clothes torn and dirty. Give him a job shining shoes or cleaning out toilets with bus station crews. Give him 6 children with nothing to eat. Expose them to life on a ghetto street. Tie an old rag around his wife's head and have her pregnant and lying in bed. Stuff them all in a Harlem house and then tell them how bad things are down south. It's painted black. Who will pay reparations on my soul? Suggestions and documents written, many directions for the aid that was given. They gave us were never really there. Yes, but the heat in the summer was there, and the freezing winter's cold. Now tell me, who'll pay reparations on my soul? Call my brother a junkie, say he ain't got no job, no job, no job. Told my old man to leave me when times got hard, so hard. Told my mother she's got to carry me all by herself. And now that I wanna be a man, can't depend on no one else. Oh yeah. And what about the red man who met you at the coast? You never did sharing, always had to have the most. And what about Mississippi, the boundary of old? Tell me, who'll pay reparations on my soul? Yeah. Call my brother a junkie to say he ain't got no job, no job, no job. Told my old man to leave me when times got hard, so hard. Told my mother she's got to carry me all by herself. Wanna be a man and can't depend on no one else. Oh yeah. And what about the red man who met you at the coast? You never did sharing, always had to have the most. And what about Mississippi, the boundaries of old? Tell me, who'll pay reparations on my soul? Many fine speeches, oh yeah, from the White House stairs, written on the cue cards that were never really there. Yes, but the heat in the summer was there, and the freezing winter cold. Tell me, who'll pay reparations on my soul? Who'll pay reparations? 'Cause I don't dig segregation, but I can't get integration. I got to take it to the United Nations. Someone to help me away from this station. Tell me, who'll pay reparations on my soul? Every day. And well, just listen to it if you enjoy it. I can't seem to find the words to say. I don't have strength to play the games you need to play. use. 'Cause it seems no matter what I try to do, I'm still loving and living, lying and losing every day. Every day. I've got a job, and to say the least, it don't mean a thing. It don't mean a thing. It don't begin to compare with the hurt and pain that I've seen. I've seen. Sometimes I know I can't tell wrong from right. Wrong from right. I don't seem to know day from night. It's no small wonder that the whole world's uptight. They're just loving and living, lying and losing every day. Every day. Stop on the way home from work to have a drink, just to give myself a little time to think. 'Cause it seems that more and more I start to realize that the truth that I wanted, the love that I needed, has somehow disappeared before my eyes. I can't seem to find the words I need to say. I can't find strength enough to